another Lawn Fawn video. Today we are introducing the brand new stamp set Elphie Selfie and its coordinating dies. I am so in love with this stamp set, I can't wait to show it to you guys. So let's go ahead and check it out. So first up we have the main elephant in the set, and then we have this adorable little baby elephant. We also have this cute bird, and then we have all of these things that the elephants can hold. We have a cake, a balloon, a cute little pennant flag. We also have this sweet little umbrella. We have a cell phone for selfies, of course. We have a little flower. And then we have this cute little mouse too. Here's an adorable heart, which I love the elephant to hold, and we have the solid version too. We have this great little water spout. And then we have this little flash and click for the cell phone camera. We also have a cute little solid heart and star, and these are really great for creating backgrounds. And then we have the solid flower, which is cute for backgrounds, but you can actually use it to color in the outline flower too. Then we have little smiley faces, which you can add to things like the balloon or the pennant or the umbrella. Then we have this cheese sentiment, a wish big sentiment, and then all of these little coordinating sentiments. So we have sorry I forgot, have an unforgettable day, you take the best selfies, my favorite sentiment, and then sending a big, and we've got hello to go with that, and the hello can be on its own. The thank you also could be on its own too, and congratulations too. Now I'm going to be using my Copic markers to add a little color to these cute little images. I laid down a medium color in all of the areas where I wanted to add my T5, my kind of almost darkest color. And then I'm blending those out there with the medium. And the reason I laid down that medium color first is I find that it's a little easier to blend my colors if my paper's already wet before I add that darkest one. So now I'm blending those out, kind of switching from medium to lighter markers, and I think he's looking so cute. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that T7 marker and add a little more darkness around his face, and then also under his chin and ear, just to give a little extra definition. And by adding that, it really makes it more three-dimensional and makes him look really cool. Now I want my elephants to match, but I want the smaller one to be a little bit lighter. So what I did was I took away that T5 and T7 markers and I added in T2 and T0. And this way we'll have the same kind of shade, but he's going to be just a little bit lighter. And I'm going to color him in the exact same way. I'm going to take that darker one and go under his chin and around his mouth. And I just think they look so cute with those little rosy cheeks too. Now here I'm touching my lighter marker to my darker marker to help me blend those two colors together. And then I'm going to be using some fun pinks and yellows for this cake. So I'm just going to blend it out, making the lightest part in the center so that the cake really looks nice and round. Next I'll color the balloon, leaving it lightest towards the top because that's kind of how balloons look. And I'm going to be touching my medium to my darkest marker then, and then my lightest to my medium to help me blend these three colors together so it looks nice and seamless. Next I'll be coloring this pennant, and once again just kind of keeping it dark towards the inside and light towards the outside. And next I'll be coloring this little umbrella and also the heart and flower too. And R22 might be one of my favorite colors, and I really love this combination of pink, yellow, and then aqua. I think it's so cute on the umbrella. I'll color in the little cell phone there to match the balloon. And then next I'll start working on my cute little mouse. And I love that you could color him in brown or gray or black. You can have a lot of fun with him and kind of decide what color he's going to be to either match your elephants or kind of add some contrast. Now here are the coordinating dies, and you can bend them apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate them. And then all you have to do is take that die and line it right up with your stamped image, take some post-it note tape, hold it in place. I'm going to add all of those other dies on there, and then I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine. And that pressure is just going to push that die through the paper and create a perfectly cut image. And I just love pulling them out of the little die. I know I always say this, but for some reason I get such a kick out of it, even just like seeing it play back on the video right now. They just look so cool when they come out of the die. I love how perfect it is, and it really just looks like this just cute little elephant, perfect and ready for a card. Now, one of my favorite parts of this set is that the elephants and the birds can hold all of these different things, which is what makes it so cute. So I'm just layering all the different images and things that they can hold. I love him holding the cell phone. I just think it's so adorable, and it's just so much fun to mix and match all of those images. So next I'm going to be creating a card using our new Perfectly Plaid Rainbow and Watercolor Wishes paper. And so I'm choosing a few colors here, this wonderful multicolored plaid, and then some green for my grass, and then some blue from my Watercolor Wishes to create my sky. I'm using the largest of my small stitch rectangle dies, which measures 5" by 3¾ to gut both of my panels, and then I'm going to use my new simple grassy hillsides die on that green plaid to create a grassy mound for my elephants to hang out on. Now, I wanted this card to be not quite as tall, so I decided to trim off 1/2 inch. And even though I trimmed off the stitching, it's okay because I'm going to add the grass on top, which has the stitching on the bottom and makes it look continuous. I'm going to stamp my sentiment with my Misty tool, and I love this because I could make a ton of these cards all at once, which is really great. And I'm using my most favorite sentiment, which is the cheese, you take the best selfies. It's just so cute. Now I can take that grass piece and layer it on to my panel there, and then it's ready to start decorating. I'm going to be placing all of my images down first without any foam tape, and then stamping that click and the flash because I want to get perfect placement for those stamped images, but I don't want any foam tape to be in my way. Now that I've stamped that, I can add my cell phone first to make sure it's in the perfect placement, and then use the cell phone as a guide as to where to put my elephants. I'm kind of building the scene backwards, and that way I can line it up with that flash and the click, and it just looks so cute, especially with that mouse on top of the elephant. Now I'm going to take this perfectly plaid rainbow paper and create a card base here. I'm just going to score right down the middle of this cardstock, fold it, and then I can add that beautiful paper to the back. I just love how springy and happy it is. I think it would just make anybody smile. Now this is a simple card, so I'm going to add a bunch of foam tape to the back, layer that on top, and make this adorable card. Now, one of my favorite things about the cheese you take the best selfie sentiment is that it kind of could go for any occasion. So I like to make a lot of these. I keep it blank, and then I can stamp either happy birthday or thank you or thinking of you whenever I need it. So I could have a ton of cards ready to go for any occasion. Now, as soon as we designed this set, I already had shaker cards on the mind. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. So I have all of my images all die cut and colored and ready to go. And then I'm going to be working with these dies. So we have the largest scallop rectangle, the largest stitched rectangle frame, and the largest of these small stitch rectangles. I'm going to cut this scalloped rectangle from some guava cardstock and then use that smaller rectangle, which is 5" by 3¾ and cut a window right out of that scalloped frame. Then I can take my stitched rectangle frame, put that right on top to give it a nice decorative edge. So next I'm ready to do some ink blending to create my sky. And so I've taken out my peacock, merman, mermaid, and my brand new minty fresh ink out here to create a nice ombre sky. I'm going to put this foam ink blending tool into the ink pad, kind of dab it off on the side, and then go onto the paper in a circular motion with a really light touch. I can keep adding the color on and building that color up until it's the darkness that I want it to be. So here I'm just going to keep adding that peacock ink, and then I'm going to take my merman ink and I'm going to make sure to go over some of that peacock ink before I go into the white, and that's to create a nice smooth edge. We don't want any harsh edges, we want that nice kind of ombre look. Now I'll repeat the same thing with the mermaid ink. So I'll kind of go over that edge and then move into the white of the cardstock. And then I'll move on to my new love, Minty Fresh. I love this ink, it's so pretty. And so we're going to blend that right into the top of the sky, and it just looks so gorgeous. I love it. So now I can finally add that frame to my opening there, and I just love that nice finished edge that it gives. And now it's time to work with some acetate. I'm using some nice strong score tape all around the edges of my opening. I'll be able to peel that liner tape off and then add my piece of acetate to the back of this opening, creating a window perfect for a shaker. And as I finish creating this window, I am going to work a little bit on some grass for the outside of this shaker card. So I'm using that same simple grassy hillside and that green plaid paper, and I'm just going to trim it down and then stamp my Wish Big sentiment right on there, and it's going to be ready to go once I create the back of the shaker of my card. And I'm going to do that by using some triple foam. I love triple foam for shakers. It's what really makes it shake it really well. So I'm going to take this foam tape here and double it up, and then now I'm going to triple it up. You could also use foam squares and triple up your foam squares. I just like the tape because it's nice and quick, but either one would work perfectly fine. And then I'm going to trim this tape into thirds, so that way I have nice skinny pieces and I get a lot of use out of my tape too. As I lay these pieces down, I'm going to make sure to kind of go away from the edge because I don't want to see that foam tape from the outside of my window. I'm going to line up these pieces to create a perfect rectangle, which is going to be a well for my shaker pieces to move in. Now that grass that we worked on earlier, I can finally add that to my card. So I'm putting some score tape on there. I want strong tape on all these images because it is paper sticking to acetate, which is a really slick surface. Now I have all of my cute little images, and this scene is based on a card by Shari. I thought it was so cute how she stacked all of the animals, so I just had to create that too. So I'm adding all of those guys on there, and then I'll give them some accessories too so that it really makes a really fun party celebration for this card. Now next up is the secret weapon for shaker cards, and that's this EK Success powder tool. And I'm running it along the inside of that foam to remove any stickiness. You could even use some baby powder with a paintbrush. That would work really well too. And right here you'll see I'm running my finger along to make sure there's not any stickiness on that tape. That way my shaker pieces will move around without just sticking to the edges. So now I'm going to pour a bunch of fun little sequins in here. I'm just adding this colorful mix and then some other colors on top, and I'm really putting a ton in there because I really want it to look like confetti exploding in the background. Now I'm going to remove that liner tape on that foam tape, and I can just lay that right on top of my sky panel, and that's going to form my shaker. It's already all done. It was really easy to do, and it's just so cute. Now next up, I'm going to create a standard size card base, so 5.5 by 4.25. I'll just fold that and score that, and then I can attach that to the back of my card. And here you'll see how cute this card is looking. It stands up really well, and it's just this gorgeous fun scene. I love that all of the sequins are hidden by the grass and then they kind of explode out from the background. It's just so fun. And I think if you were having a bad day and you just shook this card, it would totally make you smile. Now lately I've been having fun decorating my envelopes, and I thought this set would be perfect for it because I have a tendency to be late with my cards. I don't know if you guys are like that too, but this is what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to stamp in some merman ink, the elephant, the umbrella, and the sorry I forgot. And that way you can kind of make it cute on the outside and make up for the fact that that birthday card might just be a little late. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do with Elphie Selfie, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!